Rogers TV.
Welcome to Daytime Ottawa here on Rogers TV. The inevitable has happened to me. I'm going to start right off by saying it. Listen, I produced the show, I host the show, I booked the show, and I did a double booking today. And you know how great our guests are on this show? So I'm in the green room, I say to Sarwar, I'm so sorry. I put you down for February 23rd instead of January 23rd. And my good friend Jen Hayward says, hey, why doesn't he come on with me? So we've got a comedian and an accountant coming on the show. I mean, what better marriage can we have than that, folks? That's coming up a little bit later on, but we start in the kitchen with my good friend Daniela Croco. She is the holistic chef, the host of Simply Cooking by Chef here on Rogers TV. How are you?
Wonderful. Happy New Year, Derek.
Happy New Year to you. You had some wonderful time off,
yes,
I understand.
3 weeks of holiday
Good
and part of it in Jamaica, which is why I've got the nice tan going.
Nice. Well deserved.
Back at work and in the cold, so...
That alarm went off at 7, you were telling me, and you were like, what is that?
Yeah, what is real life? What is schedules? What is, making hot soup because it's so cold outside?
It's gotten a little chilly. Yeah, the Canadian weather has, the winter cold has hit us finally.
Absolutely,
right?
And the snow removal of cleaning off your car halfway through the day when you're... doing errands has happened.
What? We're tough. We're Canadians. You're going to be preparing pretty much one of your favorite soups. You said you've done this like a few times already in the last week.
I thought since it's really cold, and I've been really cold since I was somewhere hot and then came home to somewhere really cold, that I would show you guys one of my go-to soups. I swap everything, so it's different every time. But this particular one, the version of this, I've made it probably about 6 times in the last 10 days.
For clients, you mean?
Both.
Okay, clients and yourself.
I actually made it this morning for a client. So if you're watching Laura, she has this in her fridge right now.
Enjoy, Laura.
But anyway, I like to call this like a chicken lemon soup.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to turn it on.
I got it on.
Oh, you got it on?
I'm way ahead of you. We're a team here, my friend.
We're going to drizzle some olive oil.
Okay.
You can use whatever you want. Butter, avocado oil, olive oil, whatever.
Right.
And I have pre-chopped some vegetables since we only have one segment today. I have some leeks.
Yeah.
If you don't have leeks, you could use an onion. If you don't have onion, you could use green onion.
Okay.
I have celery and carrot, some fresh thyme, and a bay leaf from my tree at my house.
That is huge.
I know, cool, eh?
You grow your own bay leaf?
I grow my own bay leaf. My nono brought bay leaf plant from Italy 50-something years ago, and this is from a plant that is like a baby.
Like one of the cuttings off of it.
So my nonna has it. All my family members have a bay leaf, all from his original Italian bay leaf.
Can you bring me a cutting one day?
Yeah, I will.
Okay,
absolutely.
I would love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this soup in the past week, actually, I haven't added carrot to it at all.
Okay.
But I thought the color would be nice for.
Well, let's say you've got some carrots too, right, that are in the fridge and they're kind of left over. You've got, just 2 or 3 left.
You could one time this week I did it with a chopped up sweet potato.
Okay.
You can really do whatever veggies you have. I did broccoli and zucchini once.
Nice.
Today I have some broccoli, but we might not get to it.
Okay.
I have a garlic.
Yeah.
And I'm grating it on my lovely zester. And I have 2 lemons.
Okay.
These are organic lemons, and I wash them.
Yep.
If you don't have organic lemons, just wash them really extra good because we're using the zest. Okay.
I've even told, Chef was telling me, this is going back a couple of years, but even, lemon and lime, we don't necessarily think of washing them, but when you cut through it, right, you don't know what's on
your
it.
Knife touches
Your knife
the
is touching
outside,
it,
exactly.
So wash your lemons and your limes, everybody.
And your oranges.
Exactly.
All your citruses. All your citrus fruit.
Yes.
And I have my citrus juicer there, and I thought I would cut them, and you could do it. You could do it.
You got it.
Okay. All 4 lemons will squeeze in there.
All right. I love this type of juicer, by the way. If you don't have one of these,
he's doing it the right way.
This is how you do it. These are like a game changer.
Yeah.
This thing. Look
and
at
a lot
that.
of people think you would put the lemon the other way.
No.
But that's wrong.
Look at that. See?
And nice, very nice. And then it inverts it and it gets all the juice that you can get out of there. Big pinch of salt, of course.
Yeah.
So I made this broth. I actually bought a $4 pack of chicken thighs.
Okay.
And I used those to make the broth. So I actually filled a pot last night with water.
Okay.
And I dropped in the 6 chicken thighs with the bone in and everything. I covered it. Sorry, it already had water.
Yeah.
And then I simmered it for like 3 hours. And then before I went to bed last night, I pulled out the pieces of chicken, put them in this container, and then I had the broth to the side. You could buy yourself a rotisserie chicken, or have leftover chicken, and you could use that, and then you could buy the broth.
Right.
But
you can buy the broth, you can get the cubes, but
exactly.
If you get one of those rotisserie, even if it's fresh, and you use the you use the chicken, if you have the leftover carcass, keep it and make broth, put it in the freezer.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. 2 more lemons.
Oh yeah, sorry. I got distracted there.
We're gonna pretend that this time lapse is more like 20 minutes.
All right.
Because we want the veggies to cook down before we add the broth.
Gotcha.
So we're just going a little bit fast. But actually, one of the times I made this in the last week, I didn't saute anything.
Oh, really?
I cooked the chicken with the bones in the water.
Yeah.
And then I took the chicken out, and then I didn't want to get another pan out to saute everything. So I just added all the chopped vegetables to the liquid.
Speaking my language.
Well, I mean, ADHD,
right? I hear
attention.
you. Well, I remember moving out for the first time. If you make something in a pot, you just ate it right out of the pot.
One pot
I'm not going to dirty a bowl. Are you nuts?
So you have chicken in there.
Yep.
You could really use any leftover protein you have. Egg wouldn't work in there, but beef or chicken or pork or whatever.
For sure.
And then I've done this before.
Yeah, I love this idea.
And we do it every time. So I did a wedding for 80 people on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
And I had a big Parmesan wheel, but you don't serve the rind to the people.
No, of course not.
So
That would be, what are you doing to me?
All these beautiful leftover pieces of the Parmesan rind.
Yeah.
But the Parmesan rind is not rind. It's just the Parmesan that's hardened on the outside. So it's still good cheese.
Right.
So put that in there.
The texture, people don't want to be chewing on it
it's too hard to eat.
It's a dog bone or something, right?
And then this is the point where I add something hearty.
Okay.
So once this week I used a can of white beans. Once I used cooked quinoa. Okay. Today I'm using my favorite little star-shaped pastina Italiano pasta.
Nice.
If you're gluten-free, you would not use this.
Right,
You would use something else. You could even take spaghetti and you could break it. Only for the soup.
I've never heard an Italian say break the spaghetti.
Only for a soup.
Okay.
So my Nonna does it too for pasta broda, which is pasta with broth.
Because if your Nonna was watching right now, I could just picture her going, oh my gosh.
Because it's for soup.
Okay.
But you don't do it. You know why? Because when you're eating pasta, you want your fork to be able to turn 2 times.
2 times?
And you don't want little pieces of pasta all over your plate that you can't turn.
But I remember my mom cutting it for me when I was a kid.
And you have to use a spoon then.
No, but I was disappointed. Don't cut it. I want the, you want to do the slurp as a kid. Don't do that as an adult. It's not polite.
So this is where you can also customize more. You know me.
Yeah.
You could add some chili flakes to make it spicy with lots of black pepper. Mm-hmm. You could add some fresh parsley.
Yeah.
You could add some fresh dill. Really whatever you like. And I just let it simmer for half an hour, 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And it's one of those soups that's so good when you make a bowl for yourself and you sit down, then you go back. And so the reason I've made it so many times is because we ate the whole pot.
Right. Oh yeah. You're going back for seconds, and even if you make triple the batch, it just gets better and better and better.
And tomorrow. Tomorrow the pasta is going
amazing.
to soak up a lot of the liquid, and it's going to be a little bit more harder.
Yeah.
So then you can just add something else. The other day I opened a can of coconut milk.
And threw it in?
And threw it in to reheat it, and it was creamy. Creamy lemon
Simply
soup.
Cooking by Chef, Tuesdays and Sundays at 8 p.m. There's a whole bunch of repeats. If those don't work for you, visit the RogersTV.com website for that. And of course, you can find her on chef.com if you're looking for somebody to help you put on a celebration or just to make dinner for you. We'll be right back after this.
Oh, thanks, Derek.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Today, I helped a senior find transportation to an important medical appointment.
Today, I helped a new mom find virtual programming so she didn't feel so isolated.
Today, I helped someone understand new government supports.
Every day, 211 navigators connect Canadians to critical government and community programs and services.
211. Help starts here. 20 bucks. 20 bucks. Hi guys, it's Maggie, Mrs. Calabash and Derek. And whoa, we're back. Rogers Television. So please watch us on Rogers Television. We've just done our first show. It was Anytime Shrimp Special and an Asian salad. So please remember, Rogers Television, Mrs. Calabash cooks. I'll see you guys.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade. I'm hoping I inspire you to watch An Hour to Give. This week we're featuring the Association of Fundraising Professionals. Maybe you're looking for a career change. Check us out. I'm Sam LaPrade. Watch An Hour to Give.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to rogerstv.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at rogerstv.com.
Welcome back to the show. I'm so excited to talk to my next guest because I love the spa experience. I've been to many over the years. I actually have a wood-fired sauna, and we're so fortunate to have. I love that experience. But this is probably one of the most unique spa experiences I have ever read about. Alex joins me. He is from, not only is he the owner, he's also a sauna master from Hot Rock Spa in Carp. Welcome. Great to have you here, Alex. Thanks so much.
Oh, okay.
Great to have you. So first, tell me about the inspiration behind opening your own spa in the first place.
We used to run spa resort in Renfrew County for 15 years, and after that we moved to Ottawa and under the name Hot Rock Spa.
I see.
And for now, I would say this is the hottest trend of the season.
Really?
Really, literally.
Okay, first of all, we're wearing some really cool outfits, so this is obviously something. Why the hat? The robe makes sense to me, but I've never had anybody that has brought in something like this. What's the purpose of the hat?
In this job of sauna master may make your body heated, but we don't want your head overheated. So head protect your head.
Really?
Yes.
And so that's what you recommend for anyone doing the sauna experience?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
In the real sauna, yes.
You mentioned one of the hottest trends, and that hot trend we're talking about is this hot leaves treatment. You have to tell me about this. And these are oak leaves you've got here?
We use a lot of kinds of leaves, and this is oak leaves, this is birch leaves, and each of them has its own touch, its own purpose, its own style.
Okay.
It's like healing. And there are a lot of people has very wrong ideas about it. Okay. Like it's something like 50 Shades of Grey, but it's not. Absolutely not. This is just a universal tool which we use in the sauna. And first job for these leaves is just air fans.
Okay.
Because as I told you before, my job as sauna master to make sure you're heated evenly.
Right.
And in the sauna, in the right sauna, we have many layers of the hot air.
That's okay. That's the purpose of the balloons, is to represent the layers.
On the very top. This is a warm air, and this is a cold one.
Okay.
So what a sauna master do? Sauna master takes hot air from the top and put it on your body. And sauna master take hot air from the top and put it on your body.
I see.
And you really gonna feel it. It's not just words. It's deep feeling.
Right. So, but it's not just the airflow that you use it for as well, right? There's like a tapping that happens as part of this ceremony?
But the tapping is good word, and the weeping is wrong one.
Okay.
It's about tapping. Yes, after we sure your body is ready, we start with tapping, but it's gentle tapping. It's not, again, not something like this. And after we work with this, we're going to be more intensive tapping, but again, it's still tapping, and it's deep and nice massage to provide a really deep experience for your muscles.
And are they dry like this, or do you?
No, we're going to wet, but we didn't have time.
Well, of course, and it would probably make a little bit of a mess here. But so you wet, so they start like this, and then you soak them. Is that
we soak them for 3 hours before session.
Okay. Another thing that makes your spa unique is I liked how you described it. You go to some of the traditional spas, and it's like going to a buffet. It's kind of an all-you-can-eat sort of buffet experience. Where your spa, it's a very private experience, right? There are no crowds involved.
Yeah, and I like your metaphor, yes. If we speak about restaurants, other spa, just buffet, you can use anything, and our spa is 3-star Michelin restaurant.
Okay.
We made every treatment, every meal just for you. We fit everything, temperature, air intensity, everything just for you.
So you own, what, 30 acres? Is that right?
Not own, just rent.
Okay, you've got the 30, but you get that all to yourself.
Of private land in the Carp, yes. It's a lot of privacy, yes.
Tell me about the customization, Alex, because I know that you can customize. So somebody comes to you, they want part of the experience. How do you customize that for each client?
First of all, we customize the treatment as well itself. So if you want massage, or if you want intensive treatment, or if you want hot reflexology, or probably we customize the temperature in the sauna. We customize the kind of steam, everything. And steam treatment is about interaction. So I feel you, and I do everything to make sure you're happy, you are healthy experience, and it's really good for you.
You mentioned food as well. So do you provide a menu? Do you?
No, we don't. Okay. We don't. We provide menu, but this is a menu of treatments.
I see. Okay, I gotcha. So. Another thing that you did, and I found this really a neat thing, was you created this creative writing sort of challenge, right? Yes. To with your clients. Tell me about that idea.
Because it's almost impossible to explain what we're doing.
Right.
Because if you explain it too straightforward, it's boring. If you explain it's creative, it's a little bit weird. So we asked our clients to make 5 words description about it, and this context has been done, and we don't have time today to make to announce finalists, but you can follow our Instagram
so it
page.
is a contest?
Yes, it is contest.
Okay.
Yes, you can follow our Instagram to show who did won.
What's the prize involved?
$199. $199 voucher, yes.
Let's talk about the health benefits of for instance, the sauna. That experience, you say, you can customize the temperature. Is there a certain temperature that people should reach? And do you do the hot and the cold? How does that work exactly?
We do a lot of hot and cold. We do really deep massage, because when your muscles are heated up, they allow work really deep.
Okay.
And there are thousands of benefits. There are a lot of videos about it for now, but I would mention, first of all, it's full relaxation, and you're going to sleep really well. You're going to be fully restored, and it's really good for the sportsmen, especially for the high-performance sportsmen.
Yeah, I can imagine. As I said, we're so fortunate. We got a sauna many years ago, and it's been an absolute game changer in our lives. People can check out the website, right, to find out more information.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Everyone are welcome to our website here.
Alex, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much for your time.
Really appreciate it. Again, Hot Rock Spa, that's located in Carp. They're located at 110 Donald B. Monroe Drive in Carp, and the website is spacarp.ca. I'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Daytime here on Rogers TV.
This is a brain in urgent need of mental health care. But because 3 out of every 4 Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, she may not get the help she needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
Treaty in Cree is Naskumitoin, an oral agreement. And our agreements were always spoken. For George Spence, the core of treaty was Wichihioin, to help one another.
And so we, the commissioners...
He was there for the making of Treaty 9, where the Cree were told...
We will honor this agreement together, for as long as the sun shines and the waters flow.
The Cree made their mark because they were assured that the land would be shared, and they would always be able to harvest what they needed. George Spence was my great-grandfather. In his life, he saw many promises of the treaty go unfulfilled.
Treaties were essential to the creation of Canada. First Nations still fight for the agreements to be honored.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to the show. You will recognize my next guest. If you don't recognize his face, you'll recognize the voice because he's one of the hosts on Sandra and Chris in the morning on KISS 105.3. But more importantly even, he is one of the owning partners of the Ottawa Cornhole League. Chris Love joining me on the show. How are you?
I think it's hilarious that you say you may recognize him when I work in radio.
Well, yeah. They go on the website. They go on social media. They see your face. You guys are always doing videos and having fun.
All right. You got me there. You got me there.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. We're going to talk some cornhole today.
I know. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic.
So is this something you've done like as a family when you were a kid? Like what was your introduction to cornhole?
I was actually in the United States at a 4th of July party. Okay. And everybody on the front lawns had these cornhole boards. Really? So I tried it and I was hooked. It was a whole lot of fun. So, summertime we play, we toss bags, and then we thought, well, what are we going to do in the summertime? Because in the summertime, the wintertime, it's cold. Nobody plays cornhole. So we decided to start a league, and so we're under the umbrella of the Canadian Cornhole League, and we've got the Ottawa territory, and we got a boatload of fun people, and that's what cornhole is all about. It's getting together, tossing bags, having some drinks, a little bit of food. Some people get competitive, some people just like the drinks and tossing a few bags, but we have a whole lot of fun doing it. We got a really strong membership, and we're having a good time doing it.
You're at a new location this year as well, right? Because you've grown so much.
We outgrew our last location, so we are at the Urban Center, which has got this sort of like industrial vibe to it. Yeah. It's multi-level, everything's run digitally. Okay, so we have a giant, 30-foot screen, so everyone can see which lane they're playing on, who they're playing against. It really is quite fantastic.
That's amazing.
Score keeps at each lane, and
I can't wait to go.
And having fun. Yeah, it's grown out of control. We're 1 year old now.
I would have been there, except I curl on the same nights that you're doing cornhole. We've got to switch things up next year. No, I'm kidding.
By the way, I'm not sure if you guys all remember, but this handsome son of a gun right here came out, and he actually commentated for the first time ever on Rogers TV a cornhole tournament, which was a whole lot of fun.
It was an exclusive.
With
Sandra
my partner,
and
Sandra.
Sandra Plagakis and I did.
So I thank you for that. I thank you. I'll thank you every single time I see you because that was nice. That was nice.
I don't think a lot of people understand the rules either. Right? And that's something that I learned because, I used to play cornhole, and you just throw it in the hole, you get a point, and off you go. The rules are much different than that, right? You still get points if you get in the hole, but walk us through the actual rules.
Listen, the basic idea is pretty simple. You and your teammate are going to toss bags back and forth. It lands on board, you get 1 point. You land in the hole, you get 3 points. Pretty simple game. And the best part is, it doesn't matter if you're tall, short, 15 years old, 95 years old, you toss a bag, you can play the game.
Everyone can play.
Yeah.
What about strategy? Because I mentioned the growth. ESPN is showing cornhole competition. There's world championships now. It's huge. Unbelievable.
Huge in the States. Yes. And I think you may have been the first ones to broadcast it in Canada.
Really?
Which is really terrific. Yeah.
Oh,
no, this
cool.
sport, it's crazy huge. It's fun. I think that's what makes it a good time, is it's simply fun. You can enjoy a drink, toss some bags, be as competitive as you want to be, or just be as low-key as you want to be. And part of the reason why we started it, too, is because we just came off COVID, and there's a lot of adults looking for something to do.
Yeah.
They don't want to. It's a fairly cheap league to join, too.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You want to do indoor soccer, that'll be a few $100. Baseball, several $100. Hockey, that's a lot. My daughter plays hockey. I know how much that is.
Yes, my son played hockey as well.
So it's like every other month I'm buying bigger equipment.
My daughter even played taekwondo. And again, expensive sport. People probably don't realize it, but it gets expensive.
Right.
For the more competitive one, do they come in if you go play pool, you see the guys come in with their sticks, and they're looking buy some people buy their own bags and everything.
Hardcore, and they buy their own bags, and they like the way it feels. The the way it flies and all that kind of stuff. Sure, yeah. But, it's something that, if you're looking for something to do, it's super easy, very quick to learn. Everyone's meeting new people. People are signing up with their friends. People are signing up by themselves because they just want to meet new people. Yeah. It's an excellent social activity, and we're always looking for new members, too.
And you don't need anything, right? You can bring bags if you want, but
you don't
you've
need
got
a single
everything.
Thing. You've
got the
boards.
boards.
A single thing. You put on your shoes, your coat, you make your way out. Summertime, it's a summertime sport. That's why I'm wearing the Hawaiian today.
I like it.
Right? That's why I'm wearing the Hawaiian. Reminds me of summertime. But yeah, the league runs all year except for the summer because everyone's playing already at their cottage or at the campground or backyard, wherever it may be. So yeah, it's a good time. It's good. You gotta come play with us one Tuesday?
Yeah,
Get
absolutely.
Curling a rest and come play?
Well, I'll have to talk to my teammates. I mean, they'd be very disappointed to lose somebody of my caliber.
Bring the whole team.
I'm not a great curler. I'm just kidding. Let's talk about that. What's happening at KISS these days? What have you guys got going on over there at KISS?
Oh, KISS. Wow. Yeah. Well, Sandra's still being Sandra. Okay. Which is great. Producer Courtney and everybody else. We have a trip to Cuba that we're giving away right now. Go to kissottawa.com. Avril Lavigne just announced a show. Tickets go on sale Friday. We got tickets all week to give away for Avril Lavigne. These red lights, man, this is so much harder than radio. Avril Lavigne tickets, I mean, we have a few announcements coming up. We have a singles party that we're throwing very soon. There's plenty going on with KISS.
Nice.
So,
tell me about the Cuba trip. Is this an all-inclusive
All-inclusive. Trip for two to Cuba. 7, 10, 1, and 4. Listen at those hours, top of the hour, and listen for the keyword. Bada boom, bada bing. You get qualified, you're off to Cuba. Super easy.
I'm guessing I can't win?
Well, who says? We could take some cornhole boards down to Cuba, you and me.
I'm just wondering.
That's what we'll do. We'll start a brand new thing called Cornhole in Cuba.
You and me. I like it.
You and me.
I'm in.
Are you in?
I am in.
All right, man. Cornhole in Cuba.
Let's continue a little bit again with the rules because I imagine you need a specific distance. Do the bags have to be a specific size?
Yeah, the bags are 4x4 and whatnot. The board is, this is an official league board. It's 4x2. We set them on the edge 27 feet end to end.
Okay.
And, if it hits the ground, bounces on the board, you got to remove the bag. It's a dead bag.
Okay.
But it's 3 in the hole, 1 on the board. And then we deduct points. In other words, if one team gets 5 points, the other gets 2, you're looking at 3 points. But you know what? You don't even have to worry about the scoreboard because it's all digital. Every lane has got its own tablet, so you just punch in what just happened.
Amazing.
Takes care of it.
If you knock someone's bag off the board, is that now they're
it's a dead bag.
It's a dead bag.
Dead bag.
Okay.
Dead bag.
It's gone.
Dead bag.
Tell everybody if they want to sign up, Chris, where do they go? What do they have to do?
Thank you. Super easy. cornholeottawa@gmail.com. It's that easy. Or you can find our socials, Ottawa Cornhole League. Really easy to do, but the best way is cornholeottawa@gmail.com, which I'm sure you guys will throw on the screen.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that again.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Hey, listen to Sandra and Chris in the morning.
I'm
KISS FM.
getting used to the red lights.
105.3 FM. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Summer days, summer nights, lots of things to do, places to go, and people to see. If you're having a few drinks, be sure to plan ahead and get home safely. We don't want to pick you up. Drinking drivers risk injuries to themselves and others and take chances with their license, their jobs, and their future. Remember what's at stake and choose your ride, whether you're the driver, the passenger, or the party host. Thanks for supporting sober driving. I hope we never meet.
Visit arrivealive.org to find out more.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
I still remember the games. The laughter, the footsteps through the hallway. I'll never forget the challenges.
Every day I come back from work, it's always like this. We're yelling in front of the kids.
I'll never forget the help we needed. How far we've come.
Watch Podium exclusively on Rogers TV.
NHL on Rogers TV.
Back to the show. Chris was just talking about, going out and enjoying a beverage, getting together and socializing. And this time of year, that's great. But sometimes you just want to, cocoon and stay at home, have your friends and family come over, and you're thinking, yeah, but we want to do something different, something unique. Well, Savvy Company has some great ideas for you. You can stay at home and enjoy some of the best beverages, some of the best food. I am joined by Shirley Roy. She's a Savvy Company sommelier. Welcome back. Great to have you here, Shirley.
Great to be here.
Let's first of all talk about these wine sort of tasting events that you started doing virtually. Was obviously because of the pandemic,
right.
But you learned something from that experience, right, at
People
Savvy?
really enjoyed it. It's something they can do at their dining room table or their living room on the couch. It's educational, and so we still have people asking for them in the winter, especially when
right.
you go home from work or something. It's to go back out to go to a wine tasting or a cider tasting or whatever the case may be. It's a little bit more effort. Start the car, clean off the car. So we are doing 2 virtual events this winter.
Okay.
Probably won't do many during the rest of the year, but definitely.
And you still have your signature events where people can go and meet, meet the winemakers in person, the cider makers in person, and so on.
And
you still have
that's
those.
the whole experience, is to connect the people who make these great Canadian products, because we do focus on Canadian wines, Canadian craft ciders, artisan cheeses, and micro-roasted coffee beans even now.
Yeah.
So it's connecting people who enjoy those things and want to discover new things, and the people who make them, who are great, hardworking, a lot of them family-owned businesses, and so that can be done virtually as well as in person through Savvy.
Yeah, exactly, and I love that idea that you get to learn about the winemakers, not just about the wine, but about the people behind it, and I think that's a fascinating part of the experience that Savvy offers. So you've got 2 coming up.
Yes.
One is called The Magic of Artisan Cheese and Charcuterie. That's coming up this week. The good news is it's sold out. The bad news is it's sold out.
Yeah.
But this is something I'm sure you'll be doing, sort of moving forward. Tell us what is that experience like exactly?
It's new. It's our newest virtual event, and we're trying to mix it up and find new ways to share the products with people. So we've partnered up with Seed to Sausage.
Oh, nice.
Which has a little retail store on Gladstone, and they make small batch charcuterie meats, salamis, and things like that. So people will get a parcel, one of our beautiful purple bags, Savvy bags, and it'll have a red and a white wine, and it'll have 4 chunks of cheeses, and good chunks, like an actual chunk of cheese.
Right.
And then a sampler pack of salami from Seed to Sausage. And then Thursday night, they'll join us on Zoom, and they'll meet the makers of these products and get some tips on, I don't know about you over the holidays, but I had quite a few charcuterie plates. I enjoyed seeing what other people do to kind of make their platters or cheese boards look a little special. And so some of the experts who are making these products for charcuterie are going to give us some tips and some ideas. So it's going to be fun.
And we should mention too, when it comes to the wines and the ciders and so forth, these are ones that you're not going to find in the LCBO, and that's part of your philosophy at Savvy, right? You want to give us a unique experience where, hey, you know what, you're not going to find these anywhere else, and we bring them to you.
That's right. I mean, a lot of the smaller Ontario wineries and Canadian wineries don't have a lot of product in the LCBO. Right. It actually costs them money to put product in the LCBO. So, people who like to do wine tours and go down to Prince Edward County or Niagara, they're able to discover those. But we actually bring the wineries and the winemakers to people who like to do that and can't get down to Niagara every year.
Another good news portion of this is you have a Valentine's Day virtual that isn't sold out yet, but it will sell out. What have you got planned for Valentine's Day?
So red wine and chocolate.
Okay.
A delicious combination. And there are pros and cons to some reds and some chocolates. There's, again, tips and tricks to find the best possible pairing.
Right.
So these 3 wines are what are going to be in our red wine and chocolate parcel that is going out. So this one is very unique. It's a sparkling red. Two of my favorite grapes.
I was really confused when I saw the top of it.
Yes.
Because I thought, well, she's bringing red wines. That can't be very common.
No, it's not actually. And so Broken Stone Winery in the heart of Prince Edward County took two of my favorite grapes. They're the lighter reds. I tend to lean towards the lighter Gamay Noir and Pinot Noir.
Okay.
Blended them together and put them in a tank and pressurized it. So it's a sparkling wine.
Fascinating.
Lovely when it's cooled a little bit.
Okay.
Lots of fruit like cranberry, raspberry flavors. It's off dry, so just a touch, like it's not sweet, but it's not dry either.
Okay.
So.
And you've poured some of this for us. Tell me about this particular wine while I hand you yours here.
Yes, this is a blend of Cabernet Franc and Syrah.
Oh, nice.
Made by Derek Barnett.
Okay.
Who is one of the veterans of Ontario winemaking. He's been doing it for over 30 years, and he owns what's called a virtual winery in Niagara now. It's called Melville Wines. And so a virtual winery is buying grapes from many of the grape growers in Ontario, taking those grapes and partnering with an established winery, in his case, Legends Estates in Niagara. He rents their equipment to make his wines.
I see.
And when he produces his creations, he puts his own label on them. And so he has wines that he creates, you know, using other people's equipment.
And all three of these go well with chocolate, obviously?
They're all different kinds of chocolate.
Okay.
So I was going to say this sparkling red is going to be a great pairing with this ruby chocolate.
Okay.
Ruby chocolate is actually, some people think it's white chocolate that's been tainted pink, but it's actually a different cocoa bean.
Oh, really? Okay.
And so Anna Stube chocolate, who's out in Canada, is coming on for Valentine's and going to tell us all about ruby chocolate and why it goes lovely with that sparkling red. So this is a deeper red. This is more of a dark chocolate wine. It's got a lot of dark cherry and kind of blackberry, and it's something you'd probably pair more with a dark chocolate.
Okay. We don't have time to get to this last one, but again, this will be part of that package. If you go to savvycompany.ca, you can register for that. The red wine and chocolate extravaganza for Valentine's Day. It's on Valentine's Day, so 7 to 8 o'clock. You've got custom orders as well.
Lots
so if you want to put
Valentine's gifts, that we can make
put
up.
an amazing package together for that foodie in your life that you'd love to celebrate. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Really
Cheers.
appreciate it. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
This is a man's heart, a heart in desperate need of medical attention. But because 78% of Indigenous people experience racism in healthcare, he may not get the help he needs. Become an ally. Rise above racism in healthcare.
My Uncle Cheney was one of over 150,000 Indigenous children that were taken to residential schools between the 1800s and 1996. My uncle ran away from school wanting to get home to his mom and dad, and sadly he didn't make it and died of exposure. When Gord Downey found out about my late Uncle Cheney's story, he wrote Secret Path, a series of poems that became an album, then a graphic novel, a documentary, and a concert. Gord met my family, and together we formed the Gord Downey and Cheney Winjack Fund. Together we are sharing Secret Path and other reconciliation resources with legacy schools, setting up legacy spaces across Canada, and hosting events like Secret Path Week to inspire all Canadians to engage in reconciliation. Before he left us, Gord asked us all to do something.
You're gonna figure it out.
Will you join us? Together we can make Canada a better place.
Join me, holistic chef Daniela Croco, for season 4 of Simply Cooking by Chef, right here on Rogers TV.
Oh, what a tough job I have. I mean, I don't know how I do it. I really don't. I'm kidding. Big thanks to all of our guests so far. I mentioned this on yesterday's show. I absolutely love theater. It is one of the best experiences you can have is going to see live theater, and I can't stress enough how many opportunities we have here in Ottawa, and I really encourage you to take advantage. Excited to talk to my next guest because they have a brand new original musical. It is called Just Say the Word. I'm joined by its writer, composer, and producer, JP Chartier. Welcome, JP. Great to see you again. And Emma Barrett, who, my understanding, Emma, you're the up and coming. You're like the triple threat, singer, dancer, actor, and we'll talk to you in just a moment. I'll start with you though, JP. This is your fourth original musical. Congratulations on that, because I know how much of a challenge it is to put something like that together. Tell me about the idea behind this particular production.
So Just Say the Word was spawned from an idea that I saw, I think, on a grocery bag that said, this bag is green, but it was a black bag. And I'm like, okay, so and I put that together with The Emperor's New Clothes, of course, Hans Christian Andersen's The Emperor's New Clothes, and us believing something that isn't there isn't maybe right. And it just kind of went from there. And that's how I write musicals. I get one little silly idea sometimes, or a lyric, or an idea for a song, and it just grows and grows and grows. It simmers for a while, then all of a sudden we have 18 original songs and a 2.5-hour show, and 23 firecrackers like Emma here joining forces.
Yeah, Emma, tell me about your background. When did you get into theater? When did you fall in love with it?
I've always really liked theater. I love watching musicals since I was a kid. Les Mis got me kickstarted on it, and since then I have been obsessed with watching musicals. And then I'm at De La Salle High School in theater, and so I really like doing that. And I sing and dance when I get the time to. And
a lot in front of the mirror and in the shower, probably, like many of us growing up. Yeah, for sure. Tell me about your role in the production, Emma.
So Clara is the princess, the daughter of the king, and basically she learns how to take the reins of the kingdom, and she gets more confident as the show gets along after dealing with all sorts of difficult times with the king. She gets more confident, she gets into the zone, she owns it, and she ends up being very powerful, and I think that's really awesome.
Tell me a little bit more, JP, of these difficult times that Emma's referring to.
It's great because I'm actually the vain king in the show.
Okay.
And what we did with the show is actually we tried to take the focus away from the vain king and put it towards, girl power, the power of the princess, power of women, and the way it should be. And we talk a lot about equality. And it's tough to play a mean bullying role when I have to yell at this poor girl. And it's horrible. Because I think I'm a nice guy until I have to put my king role on and then have to look her right in the eye and tell her mean things. But she's basically bullied by her father, because her father wants, he wants all the power, he wants all the money, he wants to be known and loved and revered. But I mean, real life comes in, and the strength of his daughter, and the strength of the kingdom, who sort of sees through his veil and sees what he's trying to do. A lot of the support, actually all the support, goes over to where it should be, is doing it properly.
So trying to wield this power by sort of suppressing others, like Emma?
Yeah, you betcha. Which is horrible, and unfortunately we see that a lot of times in the different stories. We see that in real life too. Yeah. So to take that and to break that and to put it aside and to put the focus where it should be.
Emma, what other productions have you been a part of?
I've done a lot of school productions with De La Salle, plenty of those. I was also in I Forgive You at the NAC.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
excellent.
Fun.
Is this sort of a career vision for you? This is where you would like to see yourself in years to come?
I do want to write my own musicals when I'm older, and I want to run school musicals as a high school teacher, and I definitely see myself doing community theater when I'm older.
I think you've met the right guy then, that's for sure. JP, you mentioned, that spark, that grocery bag, but did you start with the songs or did you start with the story? What was the process like for writing?
It's different, and it's funny that you asked this question, because every one of my musicals starts differently. You'll get a song. My first musical was just a song idea that I had, and kind of built from there. This was the grocery bag, and it built into more of the story, and I put it again together with The Emperor's New Clothes, and it built and built. Sometimes sometimes it'll be just the music, sometimes it'll be the lyrics, sometimes, you know, together at the same time. And it's neat because this musical I got to grow even more than I normally do, because it's not just, you know, your big typical Broadway songs and you know, your power ballads, but we have sea shanties in there. I wrote a sea shanty.
Oh, really?
I have a techno swing song in there.
Nice.
I have there's so many varieties of music, and it's great. And I'm so lucky because I'm not just surrounded by, you know, 23 other people on stage, but we have so many people helping out in the background. I have my orchestrator, Frédéric Desroches, who is just absolutely outstanding, and the music you're going to hear was orchestrated by him, and it's great. So it's not just what you see on stage, it's like, you know, everyone here.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we wouldn't be here without everyone else surrounding us, and that's really what Just Say the Word is like family on stage, but family off stage as well, and how it all comes together.
Well said, and there's so many benefits, Emma, you know, being a part of something like this. I mean, you become such fast friends, and you get to meet, you know, people you would never have met before. What has the experience been like, you know, in rehearsals? And, you know, Sarah Hearn, who I know, you know, a wonderful director, she's directed so many. What have those relationships been like for you?
Everyone is super sweet, and they don't shy away from giving you hugs, which I love. I'm a very hug person, so I love it. They also bring snacks, and I love the snacks. It's a great addition, but yeah, they love helping us out, and it's really nice. If you have any questions, they always answer them right away, and they're always happy to help you with anything. So,
JP, is it interesting, you know, from your side of things, you know, being the writer and composer and producer, and then you kind of give the reins over to somebody like Sarah. What's that like for you?
Wow, that's it's very, very humbling. Yeah. It's great. I mean, I'm so honored that she took on the project, and we got all these people involved. But you know, you write something, you have an idea in your head, and you sort of see it that way. And then Sarah, who's way better at directing than I could ever be, she's like, yeah, I think I see it more like that. And you have to say, okay. And you have to trust the process, just like, you know, people who come in and they trust the process. Me on my side as well, I have to as well. And sometimes she'll make a decision that I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have done it that way. But she's always right. She's always getting it right.
Even on an actor side, you know, as an actor myself, growing up in theater and going to auditions and everything, you read a script and you have an idea in your head about what the character should be like, and then a director says, no. And then the reality hits you and go, oh, yeah, they're right. Thanks to you both. Really appreciate the time. I wish we had more time. Emma, enjoy the experience. And you can enjoy it at home. Just Say the Word, Gladstone Theatre, January 31st to February 3rd, 7:30 p.m. February 3rd, there's a matinee at 2:30 you can enjoy as well. Thegladstone.ca for tickets. We'll be right back.
Was that 4 or 5? He's lost count and still thinks he can drive. Do you think he knows that when he is caught and charged with impaired driving, he'll lose his license and a lot more? If he gets in his car, he'll face costs exceeding $20,000. Does he realize he could have a criminal record for his choice to drive? And it could be much worse if he crashes. I wonder what he'll be thinking tomorrow.
Have a Holden one at 15.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
Learn all about the creation of the National Capital Region on The History of Ottawa, according to Phil Jenkins, on Rogers TV.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
Hi, I'm Sam LaPrade. I'm hoping I inspire you to watch An Hour to Give. This week, we're featuring the Association of Fundraising Professionals. Maybe you're looking for a career change. Check us out. I'm Sam LaPrade. Watch An Hour to Give.
You're watching an interesting local show on Rogers TV and you want to know more. That's when you head to RogersTV.com. Our website provides more information about our programs, our hosts, our schedule, and about how you too can get involved with Rogers TV. Visit us online at RogersTV.com.
So a comedian and an accountant walk into a green room. Okay, there's no joke. But they did walk into a green room. I made a slight error on booking the show, and as I said off the top, I thought it was going to be inevitable that this would happen one day. Jen Hayward is back, as you know. She goes on many different adventures. She joins us each and every month. And Sarwar Qureshi is an accountant, a CPA, and also the founder of Beyond Networking. And I had you down for February 23rd, and you showed up today, but it was my fault. And then the two of you started talking. You went, you know what, we'll just come on together, which I think is perfect. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it to both of you. Jen, let's start with you. We have you on once a month because our friend Sarah takes you out to places because it's hard to get you out of the house. Let's be honest,
It
right?
is, yes.
Where did you go this time around?
Okay, we went to Carlton Place, which is an adventure itself.
It's a hopping place.
Yeah, oh, it really is.
Yeah.
And we went to a place called Deadly Grounds Cafe. So, you know, Sarah's really into horror, things like that. It turns out it's an ex-comedian who runs it as well.
Really?
And so I kind of said, well, I should probably visit her. And she's like, well, we're doing it. And so we went, and they opened it up just for us. It is so neat. Like, it's, you know what, Planet Hollywood and all those places should have been originally.
Okay.
The details. So they're all like, they're such horror fans that their wedding, they had like a Jason, you know, in their wedding picture. So that, you know, and so it is a coffee shop, but it has a nice theme, and you don't see that anymore. You see everything generic and chain.
For sure.
So art on the wall. So they used local artists, and really, where else are local artists who are focusing on Freddy and Jason and horror and blood and guts and things like that going to
Where
go?
can they find a place, right?
Yeah,
to paint.
they're like, I'm going to go to Deadly Grounds, and so they have their own line of coffee and things like that. And so they do a lot of events, and so of course, you know, the linkage with Sarah would be like, I have so many horror board games, we could do a night there. And I said, now this guy's my best friend. I was like, you should definitely do a networking event out there. And so really, it's I didn't have to do anything except for show up. So that was a really good thing for me, and drink coffee. But while I took it in, I really have a lot of respect for brick and mortar businesses, right?
Yeah.
And that, like, why would people go to something else when they have this in their own town? And as it turns out, when I said that, like, why would people go to Starbucks when they have you? And they said, it's even better than that. Starbucks renovated in Carlton Place and took away all the seating. And so, because they just do drive-through so much, right?
So
and
it's not an experience, right? And, and I think it's actually a good match, the two of you being here, because Sarwar, that's what you offer. You offer networking experiences, and you wanted to do it differently than most of the networking events you'd been at before, right?
The goal is community building, team building. So when people come together and there's something that, you know, board games, mini putting, bowling, you know,
coffee at a horror thing,
coffee at a horror thing. It just makes it a little bit more memorable. You know?
And I agree, and that's what I meant by unique. You know, there's a lot of networking events, and you know, I've gone to all of them pretty much. But I think the fact that you choose to do something fun, that philosophy comes from where, Sarwar?
Well, I always thought of it as when you really want to get to know someone, the icebreaker kind of, in a way, breaks the ice. Right? So in a traditional networking event, I find it's a bit, what do you do? What do you do? It's a little bit kind of
here's
formal.
my card, and I'm an accountant, you're a comedian.
Boring. Right,
No, it's true.
Nothing personal, Neil. But
yeah. And then if we flip that around and say put 6 people into a room at Escape Manor, and now you got to spend the next 45 minutes kind of, you know, breaking out of jail, that's kind of a little bit more exciting and interesting and memorable.
Is there something in between that and like the boring and locking in a room with strangers? Like there's got to be something in between.
I think you meet as a group. There's a lunch, okay.
Oh,
and you have a lunch coming up, right?
I'm going now.
Yeah, in a couple of days. So one of the things that we also try to do is try to give people experiences, whether it's a new restaurant or venue in the city, whether it's an interesting cuisine. You'll appreciate this. Back in my accounting days at our old accounting firm, Diane told me she had never had sushi. You know, this is back in 2010.
Yeah.
And I was like, you never had sushi? So we rounded up like 6-7 people in the office, some of which had sushi and some of which had never had sushi. And we went to have sushi. You know?
Speaking of food, so Jen, you went and obviously the atmosphere and everything, that's cool, and the art everywhere. What about the coffee?
Oh,
right?
the coffee is fantastic. So we had it, and I sugar mine up, and it was nice, and it was like a bloody coffee, but still, it was good.
Okay.
And they do their own scones, and they also work again in the networking with a neighboring bakery to do they're like, listen, we're not experts at baking,
right.
But they have them outsource those things, and they do their scones themselves. And so, yeah, it's a really good, it's an experience. It kind of sounds like this is a great marriage here in terms of the ideas, because I just don't want to do things, right? I was like, if I'm going to leave my house, I want to remember, and I want to have a memory. That's why I heard about his lunch, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go, because I like Pakistani food, and also it sounds like he's a fun person. So if someone said, do you want to come to this networking event, the answer is usually going to be no. I'll just post something on Facebook and hope people see it,
and
right?
Sarwar, by the way, she's not kidding. Really, because I think, again, I like to think of myself as a creative, and you're a creative, and you're a creative, and when you have that type of personality, you don't want to go to the same type of thing each and every time. If I'm going to get Jen out of the house, it can't be just a restaurant. It's got to be a restaurant with something special, something interesting that's happening. Are there still spots available?
There's a couple spots available. It's 2 days away on Thursday, and they can find us on Instagram, they can find us on Facebook, and definitely reach out.
Wonderful. And Sarah's okay? She couldn't make it?
Yeah, she's a little ill today, and so, post-COVID, we're all a little careful if we have some germs to spread. Maybe you could have hit it, but then also Derek would get sick and hate you and not invite you back. So we risk mitigation.
Sarah, I apologize. It's a good thing you didn't show up, because you saved me today on the show. Thanks to you both. Really appreciate it. Jen will be back in a month, and as a matter of fact, so will Sarwar. We'll see him in about a month's time.
Always,
Maybe. We'll be back with more right after this. Don't go anywhere.
With Rogers TV, you can cheer on the home team from the comfort of your living room. We'll head to the rink, the field, the court, or the pitch, so you don't have to. Tune in and cheer on your local amateur athletes on Rogers TV.
Join us for the new season of Ottawa Storytellers, right here on Rogers TV.
So fortunate to have so many great people that come through our doors here at Rogers TV. A big thanks to all of our guests. Let's go through just a couple of things. Just a reminder, the Ottawa Cornhole League. Tuesday evening, 6:30 to 9:30 at the Urban Centre. It's a great space, 2 levels. Chris told you all about, the digital scoring and everything makes it really easy. If you want to get involved, there's still some spots left. cornholeottawa@gmail.com. You can get a hold of the gang and go and have a great time. It's so much fun. Savvy Company, their Magic of Artisan Cheese and Charcuterie, that is sold out. That's coming up on Thursday, so they'll be having more of those, so not to worry. But their red wine and chocolate extravaganza that happens on Valentine's Day, again, it's virtual. They give you the package. You stay at home with your friends, family, your loved one. February 14th, 7 to 8 p.m., savvycompany.ca. Just say the word at the Gladstone Theatre. It runs January 31st to February 3rd at 7:30 p.m. The February 3rd has a 7:30 p.m. and a matinee at 2:30 p.m. thegladstone.ca to find out more information, and spacarp.ca to head over there to find out more about that Hot Rock Spa. Just an amazing, unique experience. Thanks so much for watching this edition of Daytime.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
I'm Meg, and this is Fit Finley, and we're from Fit Over 50. Join me for a new season, which is full of awesome workouts designed for adults 50 plus. Improve your motivation, your strength, and your energy. Join me for a new season of Fit Over 50 exclusively on Rogers TV.
Join us Monday to Friday on Daytime Ottawa as we showcase some of the fabulous things that are happening in your city. We'll showcase some local businesses.